Kush and Chemtrails, the world's most dangerous podcast.
Is that a
don't be talking
is
about
that a
my
Monopoly
weed
piece?
Trip on this.
Nah,
This isn't a Monopoly piece. This is the Quimbaya artifacts, brother.
What you got there?
So hundreds of gold figurines were found in Colombia, dating to about 1,000 years ago, and 17 of them appear to be airplanes. So this is what they look like right here.
That music got me feeling like Tetris.
Let me hit that shit.
Hey, don't be talking about my weed either.
Look at those fucking ones that look like airplanes right there, though, dog.
Yeah, I've seen these, brother.
Crazy, right?
Yep.
The motherfuckers look like.
Yeah. So they found these 1,000 years ago.
Says advanced
In the-
technology or abstract art.
Yeah, and the Quimbaya lived in Colombia from 500 BC to about 1200 AD.
Okay.
Or Common Era, whatever you want to say.
Right.
This tastes really good, man. Is this what's
Hey,
in that jar?
That's prop weed.
Incan. So it was the
so you
Incans.
can be okay. And so
My dude called it prop weed.
yeah, that's
I love
that's
it.
house.
I give you your props on your prop weed, bro.
Hey, that's prop 21.
Good stuff. Prop fucking 420, dude. So the artifacts were looted in 1890 from two tombs in La Soledad near the Cauca Valley. The Spanish looted the same area 300 years earlier in the 16th century. Now, several mainstream archaeologists say that they're zoomorphic and anthropomorphic in nature and that the Quimbaya did not even use wheels, much less have the ability to fly. Now, I find that hard to believe that they didn't use wheels and they existed in up to 1200 in Common Era. So zoomorphic would be, like the Egyptians.
Yeah.
Had their gods and whatnot that had the heads of a different animal and things like that.
The sun
So
gods.
exactly, but the problem with that is there's several figurines of birds.
Yeah.
Then they don't look anything like the aircraft ones. So if those here, decide. So if those are animal ones, why do they have ones of birds? Right? And if you look at the wing position of the figurines, as opposed to a bird, you'll see the tail is pointing straight up.
Okay.
Right? And they don't
Okay.
have that. So if you look here, watch. Let me pull this one up.
And nothing with a tail that goes up, but it's up an airplane,
Nah.
right?
Nah,
Like no bird.
exactly. See that right there?
Yup.
That's not a bird, brother.
Nah, it ain't no bird.
Nothing. And see these two wings back here? Birds don't have that. So you got the wings, you got the stabilizer, and then you got the tail that pokes straight up like that.
That shit, that's the guider.
Right? So in 1969, they were examined by biologist Ivan Sanderson, Dr. B. Paisley of the New York Air Navigation Institute, aircraft designer Arthur Young, and aerodynamics professor Jay Aldridge. They all agreed they're mechanical in design and not biological. So they're not birds, according to these experts. And then in 1994, this is amazing, brother. German researchers Algund Ehrenbohm, Peter Beiting, and Konrad Lubers began a research project to study the theory and create a radio-controlled scale model of these objects. Look at this. They didn't have to change anything on this. Kill that real quick, brother. They didn't have to change anything on this, brother. They built it to scale, just like it was built in the figurine.
In 1997, German aviation experts including Algun Inbohm and Peter Belting set out to prove the speculation by building a scale model replica of the Gold Flyer, fully equipped with landing gear and a working engine.
It was rather simple because we don't need to put much parts to this shape because this shape is perfect. Everything was already done by the native people 2,000 years ago.
They did not add an inch or remove an inch. They just essentially blew the little thing into a larger size. I mean, this is sensational that pre-Columbian culture knew about aerodynamics.
Aliens, right?
Once
Dude's orange.
completed, the remote-controlled flyer took off down a
Look at this.
makeshift runway and flew.
When you see this thing taking off, you really feel that this is the real deal.
It was a very successful test. and showed us how perfect ancient people were working out aerodynamic design. What shows you that there must be something happened.
No pun intended.
We
Pun
are
intended.
not quite
Right? So, right there,
That shit was
we've
fly.
talked about
Science, this isn't just
ancient civilizations
this is
being a lot more
making sure and
Advanced.
technologically advanced than we give them credit for.
super obvious.
that this
Yeah.
is
Right?
this is genuine.
I mean, this is a small figurine, brother, that they blew up into a model, and it actually flew using the same pattern that was on the same aerodynamic pattern that was on this figure. So what I was thinking was, wow, how would they achieve something like that, right? Well,
And they fly.
gold is hydrophobic.
So to suggest
Okay, it means it repels water.
all of this is
All right.
coincidence.
So let's assume the crafts were made of gold. Okay, there's moisture in the air. So the water vapor content of the atmosphere varies from place to place and from time to time because the humidity capacity of air is determined by temperature. At 30 degrees Celsius, a volume of air can contain up to 4% water. Okay? So that's currently. Medieval times, which is when they were around, there was a medieval climatic anomaly. Okay, a period where the planet heated up, which began in 950 AD. And the figurines date to that period. So if the temperature was warmer then, there would have been more moisture in the air. Okay? So assuming they use gold, right? And this is totally a theory, right? And it's hydrophobic. If there was a way to channel energy, some sort of power source into the gold where it could repel the water and attach to the air molecules, because that's what it does, because it's hydrophobic, it would be able to glide, right? By repelling the water. Similar to something if like a hydroplane, right? It repels the water as it glides on top. Well, if it was advanced enough technology, it would be able to repel the water as it went through the air because there's enough moisture in the atmosphere. And especially in the medieval climatic anomaly, it would have risen. I mean, if there's 4% water now, it could have been 8 to 10%.
Back then,
Right. Assuming it was made of gold. Now, that doesn't mean it was made of gold. Who knew? It could have been a plane just like we saw. Who knows what it was, but
it makes sense with the technology you just broke down, though.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's just my theory, but
think about how like the gold rush was going on. People was using gold for different things, and it's probably some scientists that came across a lot of gold. Because just when scientists and stuff back in the trading days and shit, they can do little shit and gain a lot.
right.
So they could use gold in their experiments. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like they had plenty of it to like even fuck it off. Like,
Well, the capstones of the pyramids were gold, bro.
You feel
So if
me?
those were giant, gold capstones, who knows what they could use gold for whatever they wanted to.
And like you say, it could be an energy source.
Absolutely, it's a great energy source. But anyways,
Indiana
yeah, that's something I
Jones.
saw, and I thought that was really cool. You guys check that out, the Quimbaya artifacts.
Yes, sir.
Check that out, Quimbaya. Quimbaya, Quimbaya, my lord, Quimbaya.
Kush and Chemtrails, the world's most dangerous podcast.